Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
And I'm Dan.
And this is the Board Game Rundown. Today we are going to talk about games we've played, news, crowdfunding, and at the end of the episode, we've got a really awesome interview that I'm very excited about.
Yep. Yeah.
So,
but first, make sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell so you get all the notifications so when our videos come out, you know.
And why is that important right now, Bob?
Because we talk about Kickstarters that end like 2 days after this comes out. So if you don't watch it right away, you're probably going to miss out.
Right.
That's true, but there's also a very specific reason.
There's a Kickstarter that is airing right now.
We're trying, guys. We're
trying really hard.
But there's also a video I might link to that's really specific that you might want that,
The giveaway?
Yeah,
giveaway!
You should talk about the
You mean
giveaway.
I was just trying to like feed it to you.
Okay.
And Dan picked it up, and you're like,
and?
yes, and.
It's awesome.
Very
We
good,
run a
Bob.
very professional show
We
here,
are.
and this won't be the first time you hear me say that. Well, no, this will be the first time, but not the only time.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, we are doing a subscription giveaway. Once we get to 500 subscribers, we're going to give you a copy of AEG's Kickstarter exclusive game, Edge of Darkness.
So good.
The box is massive.
It is.
You could move your pets into it, and they can have a little mini
It's got
apartment.
a cool like tower thing. You drop cubes in and they come out the bottom.
Yeah, and it also does the card crafting system.
Yeah,
Yep.
card crafting. Yeah.
So lots of really neat aspects to it, and we want to send it to you for free.
gratis.
That's right. All you have to do is comment on that video and be a subscriber. And once we hit 500, Dan's going to use this very special algorithm
I will.
that he's come up with.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a lot of that.
Yeah.
And then yeah, we will send you a game. And then once we're done with that one, we'll do another giveaway for 600.
Nice.
Yep.
So,
Looking forward to it.
all right. What's some games we've
Play some
played?
games.
Yeah, I
Guys.
don't think I played it. I don't.
You did play something. You
What?
played Dragon Strike.
Oh, that was.
Oh no, actually, you didn't play that. You watched us play Dragon
No, he
Strike.
played
I
Dragon
played-
Strike.
You played.
I just forgot that was after, but you're right. That was for
Yeah.
the. Yeah, that was the Thursday.
No, I mean,
thing.
Dan might as well not played. He
yeah,
spent
well,
all
he
his
didn't
time
really
over there
play.
looting.
He was just
I was
there.
with you. What are you
I guess
talking
I remember
about?
you because
Yeah.
like I was fighting the boss and
Right.
you guys weren't there.
Oh wait,
Right.
but who
Yeah.
flew over and saved you?
But who gave you all that gear that you used to kill it?
You did.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but who
Team
kept
effort.
shooting our wizard?
No, he was getting shot himself. He was
Yeah.
doing a great job of doing that.
Yes.
But yeah, we played Dragon Strike.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
not
wasn't sure
bad
what to
for,
expect. I really liked
game.
the structured Dungeons and Dragons campaign
I
kind
mean,
of thing.
it's Hero Quest.
That's what I talked to Pete about it, and Pete said that sounds like Hero Quest. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Hero Quest. It's fun. I mean, it's really good for what it is. It's good at what it does. If you were in 1993 and you were curious about D&D, that would be a great game to play.
Yeah, dip your toes in it.
Because it's going to give you a very rules light experience.
Right.
But I think it's like enough that will make you kind of want to keep coming back. And clearly, as you get further into the different scenarios and you're customizing your character,
Right. Getting equipment and leveling up.
right, you're going to be really invested by the time you get into that third, fourth mission.
Yeah.
With the maps and everything.
yeah.
But yeah, so Dragon Strike is it had a video that accompanies it, like a VHS.
VHS.
Right.
We did it without that.
Yeah.
But you could find that on YouTube, I'm sure.
Probably.
Right,
Yeah.
right. We also played Marvel Champions.
Yep.
Got our butts handed to us.
We-
by
I
the Green
didn't
Goblin.
play that one.
That's the one you didn't play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched.
You did.
You watched the
I
massacre.
watched
Fall.
you guys get beat
You watched me do a
up.
ton of damage with
I did.
like no help from anybody else.
What I watched was Green Goblin kept getting equipment on him, and I'm sitting there like,
Someone should
you
do
guys
something about
really should destroy that equipment, but I'm not going to alpha game or anything, so I'm just going to sit here and watch him kill you. You know?
that. And you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like the first time we played it. It can be really swingy.
Right.
And-
Wes a hard villain, it seemed like. I mean, I had
Yes.
to play the first time
He was
with you
much
guys.
harder than Rhino for sure, just from what I saw.
And I think there's definitely some things we could have been doing better. I had a lot of time to think about. But I think for everybody to kind of get to play the game, it's a game I really enjoy. I really like.
I really dig the concept.
I really want to play more of it. And see more characters.
The thing that excites
Right.
me most about it, which is so weird, because I really like Marvel Champions. Like, I'm probably going to buy it. We just can't afford that right now because house stuff. But the reason I like it is because it's similar to Sentinels, right?
Yes.
Different, but similar, and
Right.
but with like Marvel heroes and stuff. But I could easily own both. You know what I'm saying? They're
I
not
think
that similar.
You can
and everything.
definitely own both because Sentinels, while similar, is still kind of its own thing
Yeah.
because it's not customizable.
Right.
And Sentinels, I think what Marvel does, what Marvel Champions, the people who made that, what they did, and maybe they didn't, but it feels like what they did was they took away a bunch of the fiddliness
Sure.
Some of
of
it.
Sentinels.
There's still
there's-
fiddliness, but it's structured fiddliness.
Yeah.
Where Sentinels is unstructured fiddliness, right? I don't know.
Sentinels can get a little chaotic with
Yeah.
trying to make sure you're putting all your counters on everything.
and bonuses and things like that.
Yeah.
I think there's a little bit of that. I mean, because if you're playing with multiple people and they're like, oh, I'm getting a bonus from him, I'm getting a bonus from this, but this thing's giving me a penalty.
Right, you have
And
this
they try to give you
giant
those little
stack.
placards.
Yeah,
to
look like
try
little
to-
comic book
Yeah,
boxes,
which I thought
right.
was really kind of cool.
No, it's on theme.
Yeah. But I like how there's a lot more different characters, at least right now, for Sentinels. You know what I
Right.
mean? And then they also have specialty ones that are like the Kavoth one from Name of
right.
the Wind, like things like that. Like I dig
Sure.
those kind of stuff. And then you have the environment, which kind of changes things up. And
Right.
whatnot.
Yeah,
And that
there's
is,
a
like,
lot of
neutral
things you
thing.
can do to really spice that
But
game up.
But I did enjoy, like, I was Black Panther, and like, I would get more and more of my suit out. But then every time I would put my one card, it would activate all of them, and depending on what order I activated them in, I would get like a different kicker at the end, and it was
so
cool.
interesting.
It's
It's like
really
it was
neat.
really neat. Like,
and that's a
a
base
mini-
box
Yeah.
it comes with it.
character right
Yeah.
out of the base
It's like
game.
every character has their own gimmick that is somehow thematic. They
Right.
just it just has this little thematic punch.
Like Captain America, you kept on tapping and kept on tapping. It was
I
like,
can do this
I
all
can do
day.
this all day.
Yeah, it's like,
I
Well,
love it.
yeah.
Well, I felt like I didn't. The problem was, I think I saw the Captain Marvel mechanic
Right.
and just really never had a good opportunity
Right.
to
You were just
implement it.
always getting beat up on.
And when I played the first time as Spider-Man, I really, after a couple rounds, really figured out how
to make him go.
how to just really make him go, and so it worked out. So that doesn't mean like, oh, I don't like Captain Marvel. It just means I got to play her the right way. In Sentinels is the same way, right? I mean, you can't play Tachyon,
and be conservative with your cards.
right, right. I mean,
Yeah,
you've just
you need to just play 'em.
just got
Play
to
'em.
play stuff, right?
Yeah.
So that was the thing is. It's just figuring out the right
How it
ways
works together.
to
Yeah.
really just make those combos fire
Really
off. And
interested
you
to see how it
clearly
doubles
had
up.
Black Panther figured out.
Yeah.
I love the system too of your cards are what you're playing, but they're also the cost for the cards you're playing,
Right.
and figuring out that, seeing how to optimize the hand that you have is just
Yeah.
interesting. You're like, okay, these two cards I can throw away this turn because that activates this, which then I go through my
Right.
discard pile, like just all that. It's very interesting. I could talk about this game for a while.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's well made.
We'll get a
I'll
review.
I
of
want
that.
to play it again with you guys.
Yeah.
Like, I really want to play it again with you guys because I bet just once we finish playing, I'm like, oh, let's just. If I had time,
I know.
I'm
Right.
gonna
It
play
does.
again.
It does play a little long.
little
It doesn't. It at the end of the game, I didn't feel like it felt long at the end. During the game, I'm like, this is going a little long, and then it kind of snowballs. Usually, both games we've seen snowball.
Yeah.
The first game snowballed in our favor.
Right.
The second game snowballed
much.
not in your
Yeah.
favor.
Right.
But it's still snowballed, and
Yeah.
once you get to that halfway point, like the first half drags a little bit, and then you get to the halfway point, you're like, we're almost done.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
so-
Yeah, 'cause it's
spoilers
not
say,
really the
there's
halfway
two
point.
villain cards, right? That's
Right,
really sweet. You
yeah.
set it
Right.
up like that, and like that seems like getting past that first one seems like it takes a while. And when you get rid of it, you think you're at your halfway point, but not really, because like Dan says, it ramps up. As soon as once you get to that next one, it's like, okay, there's more stuff coming at you. All this is
Right.
going on, and you're either fighting it and taking them out, or he's taking you out.
And you've
Yeah,
got to
it-
be real proactive. You've got to
Yeah.
be ready when you
Right.
pop that.
It almost feels like
first
his
card.
first card is you guys need to get your tableau built.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Whatever you guys get, whatever your gimmick
your
is,
stuff
Yeah,
together.
get
Get
that
yourself
built.
together,
Because once that
and then
second
go
card
after
comes
him.
out, I think that's why
Yeah.
Tim and I snowballed the game
Yeah.
is because we got our gimmicks
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
And so when the second card happened, he was way stronger, but we were ready for it.
And that's
right?
why I was like, hey guys, because there was an opportunity. We had
Yeah.
an opportunity to knock him out earlier. And it's like, hey guys, we should probably like,
yeah, be ready for it.
yeah. And we weren't. I mean,
Nope.
we did wait and we
Yeah.
tried, but we really weren't ready. And but I don't know what else we could have done at that point. Like I think we were so far in and things were going.
Yeah.
It just kind of had to. We just had to have him put us out of our misery.
yeah, just kill us.
But I had a
please.
good time playing. I really was glad that you were having a good time playing and stuff. So yeah, I like that game.
forever.
I like that. I really like that game.
Wakanda forever.
What else
Yeah.
you been playing? I got a couple, but I'll.
That's that. I mean, I played a couple games of Magic, and
Sure.
then I
Barf.
played Axis and Allies Online quite a
Yeah.
bit. Yeah,
I've been
that a
playing
lot.
Magic the Gathering online on
Nice.
there. Was it Magic the
Arena?
Gathering Arena?
Yeah.
And I'm up to like diamond rank now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and like standard
Nice.
play or whatever. Oh gosh, they do a really neat thing, and I've been getting these cards, right? Like you get a pack, and sometimes you'll get a card, and it's just like a symbol, and it might be like the color of a mythic or or an uncommon or a common or a rare, right? And it's like, oh, this is you can trade this in for a mythic, or you could trade this in. And I never saw where to do that.
Okay.
And then last night I was messing around with like building the decks, and I saw this little icon. And I was like, what's that do? And it brings up like all the cards, and the ones you have are in color,
right?
And you can see how many you have of each, or up to 4 really. You know, if you've got 6, it doesn't tell you got 6. You just know you have up to 4. But then it's got all the ones you don't have. Like great, like very grayed out or shaded out a little bit, and you just trade 1 for 1. And because I've been playing for a month and hadn't used any of them, it's like,
you had a ton of
I could get like
up.
15, 16 mythics. I'm like, I'll get that Godzilla card. I'm going to get this card. I'm going to get this card.
Sweet.
Dan's excited.
Yeah.
Anyways, I really like that because now it's kind of the equivalent of, because at first I was trying, I'm getting beat by some cards and I'm trying to buy the packs.
Yeah.
That, and
Get
you
some
hope,
better cards.
and you hope you get, but it kind of gives you the effect of going down to your game store and just
like
going through their
trading
binder,
in.
right,
Yeah,
and getting
yeah.
the cards out that you want.
Yeah,
So
that's cool.
And I've spent $0 on this game, and I'm having an awesome time with it.
I've played it because it's free.
Yeah.
So
And also, Picorni, I'm coming for you, man. He's been kicking my butt in Ascension,
yeah.
so it's coming. I've always got ongoing games of Star Realms with both
okay.
Pat and Julia.
Nice.
Always. One ends, new one starts.
Yeah,
I
it's a
love
good
it.
game.
Star Realms is a really good app.
Yeah.
It's a great app. It's $5, I think, to be able to play other people.
You can also, if you just want to try it, Cthulhu Realms is free.
Right.
So it's the same game basically, and it's a
skin.
little dumbed down from what I've heard, I think, but it's basically the same game, and it's a free version, so you could try that out.
It's not as good,
Sure.
but it's but you're right. So Dan, what else
Free
you got?
stuff is nice. I don't think I've
Free stuff
played
is
anything
nice.
else. Like I said, I even forgot Dragon Strike. Wasn't that? Didn't we mention that last week?
What?
Monster Slaughter and all that.
No, we
we
played it
played
after.
after.
Yeah, so we played
Oh.
Monster Slaughter.
Oh well, we
Slaughter.
played it. Then we played it
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And now, so yeah, we played a 5 player game of Monster Slaughter. It was insane.
I don't remember last week at all. Evidently.
We played with no scenarios. We just kind of played straight up, and I still like it.
Yeah,
I
that was
want to
neat.
play with the scenarios because that's really going to change things.
Okay.
Introduces a lot of
It's
different.
cutesy. It's very like Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and again, I think it's on theme, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
theme's real strong with that, and I love chasing people out of. No, you can't kill him yet. Scare them out of the room, right? And then they go and hide in another deck.
Yeah, it'd be nice if there was like a few more rooms, right? Because a lot of times they can still get to them and attack them. Sure,
Right.
like, you can't get
Right.
multiple attacks off.
I could see that.
yeah.
A little bit bigger of a house.
Yeah,
Because it's what, like 5 or 6 rooms?
yeah, but still,
Well,
like,
it's not
I
just
mean,
that.
if you're like
it's
in the
that the
central
living room touches everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
you're like,
problem.
oh, okay, I'm like a space or two away from just about anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're never more than like 2 spaces.
Right. Right. But yeah, we played Monster Slaughter.
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah.
I think it's fun.
It's fun.
I kind of want to see what the expansion does because there's
okay.
there's an expansion.
It's still like what 2 turns or whatever they are.
Yeah.
like
I still don't
the board goes
understand.
up to like 8, and
I know.
it's like 2 in, like everybody's gone.
I'm curious. It must be scenario based,
It
right?
must
think so.
be.
'Cause I
It
don't
must
get
be.
it.
Yeah.
Or we're playing it completely wrong.
But-
Those are
Totally
the
possible.
only 2 options.
Yeah.
So-
I haven't looked at the book yet.
I did not teach it.
Who taught it?
What?
Yes.
We'll have to review the tape.
What?
Yes.
Did I?
You taught it.
Huh.
Okay.
You don't remember anything last week anyway.
I
Yeah, so
don't,
he's
dude.
just a part. Yeah, you totally did that dumb thing.
I've been,
Remember when I
messing-
crashed my
I've been
car?
messing
Dude,
around
that
with
was
my
crazy.
time machine. It's been 30 years since last week. I mean, okay.
Yeah.
So, anyways, okay, that's games we played.
Yeah.
I've been playing a video game called Phantom Doctrine, which is like Cold War XCOM, and so the XCOM
nice.
games are kind of like if you've ever wanted to see a video game perfect a board game system, right? That's
Yeah.
what XCOM basically is.
Yeah.
So Phantom Doctrine is Cold War XCOM. I've been playing that. It's board gamey, but yeah,
Dead by
nothing
Daylight.
like that stuff. Yeah. Some Dead by Daylight too, but that's not board gamey at all.
No.
Until
At
our game
all.
comes out.
What? I know, right? All right, so we're going to news.
News.
Yeah, so like all of my news is like Game Found stuff.
Yeah, I got that email too.
It's a
But I
good
do-
email, though.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw that Skyrim. They finally released some of the first details for the
Did
Skyrim board
they?
game. Yes. 1 to 4 players, co-op across Skyrim. You can be Khajiit, Nord, High Elf. There's lots of items and whatnot and skills you're going to level up.
Can I put my cat like next to the board and just have him sell me stuff?
That is probably you could try.
Right.
Yes.
Khajiit.
Yeah,
you know.
Khajiit. Yeah. If you have coin, he has wares.
That's
So,
right.
yeah.
That's right.
But yeah, and like decisions you make, so you get to play multiple times because like certain decisions you'll make will like lock off certain things that you can't.
Can I buy Skoom? Is it Skoom?
Skooma?
Skooma, yeah,
Yes.
Skooma.
I can make you some skooma if you really want.
Oh boy,
some
calm down.
I know a guy in
yeah, I
Winnebago.
got a guy. Get you some Skooma.
Yeah. But I saw that. That was kind of cool. So stay
Yeah.
tuned for more details.
That's going to be
There's
huge.
more. Yeah,
That
can't
is
wait.
going to be huge.
Who's making that again?
That is a great question.
Okay, it's fine. We
Is
can
it not
fair.
Awaken?
No,
No, it's not Awakened.
It's just.
Modophius Entertainment.
Okay.
Yep. Modophius.
Yeah, it's on GameFound
Fias.
though. Yeah, you can go
It's a
on there.
preview,
and
right?
follow- yeah, you can
Preview.
follow it, and then that way you'll get the updates as you know.
Doesn't tell you how long
just
until it
listen to
comes
us.
out. Sometimes it tells
No,
you.
none of that yet.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
just the
very
very first
interested in
details
where this goes.
leaked or whatever.
This
they
could,
call it a leak, but
this
they did it
could
on
be
purpose.
the biggest disappointment ever.
or
the biggest game ever.
It could be
Yeah,
super cool.
for sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's going to
don't
land
think
somewhere in
there's
the middle.
I don't think there's gonna be a middle ground for Skyrim, dude. It's
I
Skyrim.
don't know, man.
There's
Fallout
it
has a huge
seems
following.
Pretty
It's
ambitious.
pretty
right?
middling.
I
Like,
guess
you
the
can
board game
drop
is.
players in and out, things like that. Different campaigns.
Campaign style, right?
Yeah, 2 campaigns, 3 chapters each, and then the decisions you make will, affect the.
But don't worry,
future
there's
stuff.
hours of side quests.
Right.
Yeah, right.
I'm just trying to help this guy find his
Yeah,
dog.
you shouldn't even do quest number 1 until you're way over leveled.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And those dragons get really hard though.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Just find him when you're level 1.
Yeah. But, yeah, if you want to go ahead on one of the other ones, I'll do the
I'll
other.
jump on one that I thought was interesting because I do like sports.
Okay.
Did you see that one, 11?
No.
So 11, it's 11 Football Manager board game.
Oh yeah, you dig those.
Yeah, well, this
I
is
did see that.
this is soccer.
Okay.
Okay.
Football, FUT.
Then why do they
yes,
call
FUT.
it? No, I'm just kidding.
Right. But this sounds really neat to me. I'm not sure like how it's all gonna work and play and
Mechanics
everything.
whatnot.
But it's 1 to 4 players. You're managing like not only your club budget, but you're manipulating your fan base, your players, your staff, and then
Okay.
also somehow in this game you're trying to win matches.
Okay.
So,
So it's like the
Is this-
Madden video game board game edition via soccer.
yes.
Is it not multiplayer?
Oh, it's 1 to 4 players.
Okay, okay. I'm
So
wondering.
you're trying to have like the best and most successful soccer club.
right. So I was
football
wondering
club,
because it was
excuse me.
called. It's called like something manager.
Yeah, Football Manager.
Sorry, I'm
the
trying to
board
think
game.
of my news, and I'm having a really hard time listening to you while thinking of my news because my
Sure.
memory's terrible. But I'm wondering if it's gonna play like those campaign manager games and stuff. That's
It
what I was
could.
wondering.
It could. Maybe like the Blood Bowl card game, like
Oh, yeah.
team Blood Bowl Team Manager. I mean, it could play like that. But I don't know. I really always in video games when I did play like even the NCAA football games, like I loved building a program, right? And like the campaign aspect of that.
Yep.
So I don't know how much into that it's gonna go, but I'm like, I'm listening.
Right.
I don't even care about soccer because I'm a dumb American.
Right.
And I like American football and I like
Right.
baseball, but it's like I'm listening because it's running a team, right? And building a
Right.
team and stuff like that. So I think all that sounds really neat.
Don't get smartphoned.
But it doesn't, right. But it's not going to, if you look on GameFound right now, you just see like a campaign preview and it still says when we're filming this, like 79 days, which means it's going to be like 75 days when this drops.
A while.
Right. So you got time. But I will say that's a really neat thing that GameFound has been doing is that you can get on and just look at all these projects because that's
Yeah.
going to be a bunch of my news today.
Yeah.
Because I kind of went down a rabbit hole. And
yeah,
it's
we
like,
actually
oh.
asked them, could you guys do that? We need more news. And they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, no problem, man.
Right,
we're all
right.
over
Dan, why don't, since you're having a hard time remembering.
I know, dude. It's,
where you
well,
are.
Also, part of it is because I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to say. So I'm pretty sure we're allowed to mention it because it is news. It was emailed out, but we're not allowed to show pictures and stuff. But if you backed Nemesis during the lockdown campaign,
I did not. So I'm
Awakened
listening.
Realms said they were working on a video game.
Ooh.
In like the Nemesis universe or something. Like it's like a first-person cooperative or semi-cooperative survival
Sure.
kind of thing. And there's going to be alpha tests sent out to a limited
Nice.
number of people and
Nice.
stuff, and it's all hush hush, all that stuff, right? Like what's that called? NDA and all
Right,
that, right?
yeah.
So I'm pretty sure I can mention that they're doing that. So pay attention to your email if you backed it and stuff, and fill out the survey and all that.
Very cool.
But yeah, they're very, very in the email, like you cannot talk to anyone about this kind
Sure.
of thing, like the actual pictures and everything.
sure.
So I'm just saying, that's interesting that Awakened Realms is getting a
Gonna dabble.
Nemesis video game universe.
Well,
kind of thing
they've
going.
already sort of have a Tainted Grail like video game and stuff.
Right,
So
but it's just Tainted Grail, isn't it? This is this is like a first person game in the universe.
No. But I think it just shows you, right, like that they're already
that they're
thinking,
interested.
that they're thinking about this and that it's a possibility, and it actually might be a really good idea, right? Because the board game and video game industry is crossing over more and more and more. I mean, we kind of are trying to pull you from the video game.
Well, I think it's because the board game industry is getting more and more popular. It's becoming mainstream. And
Right.
now video gamers are having fun. They're interested in
Right.
this. Right. Nemesis Distress is the name. And if we're not allowed to talk about any of that, hard cut.
Thanks, Dan. Oh.
I said I figured the information is they're just hush hush on all the photos and stuff like that they've been sending out. So
Do you have what else you got for news?
Well, speaking of Awakened Realms, this is what I'm surprised that Dan didn't go into.
I know. I was like,
this was the big news.
The spiritual successor to Lords of
Spiritual
Hell.
successor. It looks like the same game.
Yeah,
Lords of Hell, yes. Lords of Ragnarok.
Right.
Yeah, surprising.
Hellas interests me more than Ragnarok.
Does it?
So that might be why I forgot. But yeah, remember I said there was one big thing that came out. That's what it was.
So it's Lords of Hellas, territory control, but it's Vikings, cyborg Vikings with Norse mythology.
Yep.
Right.
Which
So they're going to have some new mechanics, right? Some
listen,
fresh mechanics.
I'm
Well,
sure
they better.
Yeah.
They can't just reskin.
Reskin, yeah.
I'm sure that it's going to be amazing because Awakened Realms.
Yeah.
And Lords of Hellas is amazing.
I love Lords of Hellas.
Yeah.
We became friends because of Lords of Hellas,
which is the one knock I'll give it.
yeah, right. Fair. But I'm burned out on Viking stuff.
Yeah.
Even
Still? It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the mythology is rich.
Yeah.
It's there. I mean, it's better than just doing Roman mythology with Lord's House.
Right.
So then you just go with all the Roman names.
Right.
Yeah.
And slightly different sculpts.
Yeah. Again,
No, it could be really cool though.
I just can't afford to get it when I already have Lords of Hellas.
Yeah.
Right? That's the problem.
I think that's where I'm going to come down at. Is like it's just going to depend on when it actually launches. Is it going to be like $200 to get everything? Because I'm not going to want to just get.
Right, that's my
bit.
biggest
The base
regret
game.
with Lords of Hellas is it's impossible to get those expansions now. And
Yeah.
while the base game is amazing and totally replayable, I want some of it. You know,
Yeah.
like 5th player expansion.
Yeah.
God, that's got to make the game better.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, it's
every time I
fun.
play it, I'm like, oh yeah, we have 5 people. Like so.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic game, man. I love Lords of Hellas. All right.
And then there's one more that
You got the He-Man?
Yeah.
He-Man! Masters of the Universe, Fields of Eternia.
Yep.
So what, like 35, 34 days when this drops is when that's going to actually post. It's kind of interesting. So that IP must have freed up, and now
There's a Netflix show
There's a
coming
Netflix
out.
show. Simon's got their game coming to Kickstarter soon because they've got their own He-Man game.
Okay.
This isn't even the He-Man game that people were talking about
this is a
a
different
year
one.
ago.
Archon Studio.
Yeah, this is a whole different kind of thing.
So what's Dolph Lundgren up to?
Well, being in board games, I guess.
Just wondering.
That's cool. But which one? Which side will he pick?
Yeah.
If he dies, he dies.
They got
I
a
know
Battle
that's
Cat,
not
so-
from He-Man,
Battle Cat.
but it is a very good
Battle Cat.
Dolph Lundgren Battle Cat.
Okay.
And that's my news
Yeah,
as well.
that's what I
man.
have kind of leaked
All
into
the news that's fit to print.
crowdfunding.
That's my news.
Yeah.
Doo-doo.
Any other
I'll
news?
go ahead and say, I
No.
guess, War Room still going on. You have like one more week when this launches. To
Did
get
it
on there.
fund?
That's a great
fund.
I bet it funded
funded.
first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, selling one copy funded,
So-
I think.
Yeah, that's $3,000. We've covered it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I will say, man, I really want to play War Room because it looks like
Yep.
such an immersive,
Yep.
Yeah.
awesome
So-
experience. And those are things like, I mean, that's why Dune is so appealing.
Those are my favorite
Yeah.
games.
Right.
The problem for me is if a day came up when we could play War Room, I'd probably just say, well, you guys want to play Dune? Or you guys want to play Twilight Imperium? Right?
Yeah.
So,
Or do you guys want to play 20 other games in the
Battlestar
time that it
Galactica?
takes?
Yeah. So, so I want to play it someday, but like, there's just this thing in the back of my mind where it's just like, yeah, but I still have to play these other games too.
And I want to just say real quick, because you just reminded me of Battlestar Galactica, I've been seeing some blowback on Unfathomable because
Yeah.
it's a Cthulhu theme.
Yep.
And it's like, well, why don't you just get,
Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica, get the IP. It's like, look, if they can't get the IP, and you've got the designer and you've got the rights to
The mechanics and everything.
for the mechanics and everything. If you don't have Battlestar Galactica and that's a game you love, I'm just gonna say, man, save your money.
Yeah.
Get Unfathomable.
Yeah, I agree. I've looked at the board and everything now, and yeah, it's Battlestar Galactica. It is.
Get the game you can afford instead of overpaying, and just, I don't know.
Also, if people are going to
Gotta be
complain about the
silence.
price of Unfathomable, which we talked about last week, I think is a fair price for what you're getting.
Because you're gonna get minis and all
Right.
that stuff in it too.
So that's with a free IP. How expensive is the game going to get if they have to pay for the Battlestar Galactica
Yes.
licensing and
It's
stuff?
true,
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Or just drop $600 on online and try to get all.
Email
Of
me at
$600, you say?
Yeah,
I don't like the game that much.
Oh boy.
But
Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous. The secondary market is ridiculous
crazy.
on BSG, and I get it. I love the game, but I would never pay that much for it. I was fortunate and bought mine when it was still around.
Right.
Now I don't have any of the expansions.
Correct.
But I would never overpay for the expansions.
Me neither, because I haven't.
Right.
So that's evidence.
Right.
I overpaid slightly for the board game, but I think it was a fair price for the good condition it was
Sure.
in.
Well, no,
stuff,
and that's fine. That's fine. But now it's getting even worse. And
Right.
And what's funny, I think these people are just the people that are trying to sell their own copies and they hadn't moved yet, and now it's going to be really hard to sell because they can get the game.
Right, for cheaper.
And I just kind of feel like, well, that's what you get.
Yeah.
But whatever. So in a year when BSG is back down to like Earth and you can just buy it for a reasonable price on the secondary market, that's fine too. You can wait. But anyways, that's my soapbox. I want to put that back. But
really need to stop carrying that around.
I
with you.
know
It
it's
gets-
terrible.
It gets annoying.
Well, I
Yeah.
needed to reach things on high shelves because I'm short.
Yeah.
But okay, so crowdfunding,
Well, he
Yeah,
already
I know we
was
did-
in that. That was War Room.
War Room.
War Room. That's right. Sitting too close to you, man.
Yeah.
Skeptics. Skeptics by Usiak Games. We will have an interview coming up with John. But yeah,
Like at the end of this video.
Yeah,
Not
really.
coming up in like a week.
No, real close.
Stay tuned.
You're almost there.
Yeah.
But Skeptics is really cool. It's like $50, and you're going to get this game with a lot of theme and ambiance. And so you're trying to prove the existence of ghosts. So you're wandering around this asylum or this museum, and the dice mechanic is similar to Elder Sign, except better balanced, to hear John say it.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. Balance better, yeah.
But yeah, you're rolling dice. You're trying to match icons. You're running around trying to get clues and things like that. The board is going to set up kind of different every time. Like you're going to have a map, but the board gets
Stuff's
seated
gonna appear-
differently,
yeah,
right?
yeah, stuff
And then
will
the
appear in
ghost
different
is going to
areas.
appear up in different areas and everything. And
It's a 1 to 4 player.
1 to 4
co-op.
players now. Yeah, straight co-op. And Dan and I like difficult co-ops, and I
Yeah.
felt like when we played, because we have a playthrough which there will be a link to later.
Yep.
I felt like it was not just easy, right? I mean,
Right, and we were just playing one of the starter ghosts
Yeah.
too, so
Yeah,
I don't
there's like
know
8
how
now,
that
I think you
affects
said.
it.
Yeah,
Ghosts?
yeah, there's
Yeah.
a lot that's coming in that box. They're unlocking stretch goals as we go. It'll still have a few weeks.
And playing most co-op games with Tim puts
Oh,
it in hard mode.
oh, boy.
because he's just so bad.
Listen, here, I am not Jonathan.
I was waiting for that joke. I knew the second I threw you a softball there,
Ugh.
And he struck out if you saw.
Yeah, I did.
and whiff.
Listen, it nicked the ball.
Foul
You just didn't hear it.
Foul
You
ball.
just didn't hear it. But yeah, Skeptics, I'm excited because this is actually the second time they've launched this campaign,
Yep.
and now it's already funded. It's successful. There's still plenty of time on it, so now they're just unlocking stretch
Yep.
goals.
Yep.
And
And, obviously we won't get into it too much right now because we have a whole conversation with
right.
it we're gonna have at the end of this video. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I was gonna talk about Skeptics, so don't point at me.
okay.
I
War
gave you mine.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
we were
that's
gonna
it.
talk about the same one.
That's it.
Yeah, we were going to talk
Oh,
about
look
some
at
more. Yeah,
That's
is
nice.
it. So Dan, what's coming up next?
Next is now we're just going into the interview already. I wasn't ready for
I was
that.
waiting for you to toss it in here.
I know. I wasn't
hard
ready
nut.
for us to be there already. So, well, next we're going to go into the interview we were talking about with John Usiak about Skeptics. So, without any further ado, take it away, Tim.
Thanks, Dan. Today we are lucky enough to have John Usiak, who is he's got a game on Kickstarter right now. It's safe. It's
It is.
funded.
It's safe.
It's Skeptics. We had an opportunity a bunch of months ago to actually play it on Tabletopia with you.
Yeah.
And we both really liked it. Had a good
liked it.
time. So, John, why don't you tell us a little bit about Skeptics and how it plays?
Oh, okay. So Skeptics is a ghost hunting or proving game where the ghost is going to show up every hour, and you're going to run to that spot on the board and satisfy different dice conditions. And when you satisfy all the conditions, you win the game. And there's going to be now 8 different ghosts in the game and 2 different boards.
Awesome.
So, yeah, it's pretty much plays like I mentioned before, like a Kill Dr. Lucky, has a Clue kind of vibe, and Elder Sign.
A little bit Elder Sign with the icon matching, right, with the die?
Yeah, but my dice are a little more balanced, I think. Because
So that means you have a
Elder Sign
chance.
goes like
Yeah, you have a
icon
chance.
1 and 6,
Yeah.
where I divided it up better.
Sure. Yeah, Elder Sign is really tough.
Yeah,
but
it is.
we're not here to talk about Elder Sign.
Nope.
Yeah, and I think when we played, I think we had only talked about maybe 2 different ghosts.
Yeah, well, there were the concepts for a few others,
Sure.
but I think there were like 2 finished or something
Right,
like that,
right. But we went against was it
Shadow.
the Shadow?
Shadow.
The Shadow. Yeah, that was good. And so it's really exciting because now you're funded, because you restructured basically and then relaunched, and it doesn't look like too much has changed.
Yeah.
With the game, looks like it still plays.
The game plays the same way. I modified the Kickstarter page to make the graphics a little bit better coming at you. But as far as the gameplay, it's been play tested way beyond like up until last November.
Sure.
And it didn't really need anything else.
Right.
Like there was like a minor like card that needed a change in wording, but now it's just like really getting to fine tuning.
Right.
To turn 99% to 100% go to manufacturer. So the good thing about this is once this campaign's over, I just send the files right to the manufacturer.
And you're
Everything is pretty much complete except for the editing.
Yeah,
Nice.
that's awesome
So
though.
the fine-tune editing.
Yeah, yeah, but
Right.
I mean, like the nice thing is, right now you can relax, or can you? Are you able to relax once it's funded?
No, because like I said, we have to go through editing, and like my partner's going to go through every word and make sure everything is consistent.
Right.
Right.
Like everything. Like if you bold one word, why isn't it bolded here? Just
Oh,
really
yeah.
specific,
Oh,
Right.
sure.
clean.
Fine-tooth kind of
And now
things.
also
yeah.
the stretch goals, and just I want to make sure we finish those too and get them perfect
Right.
before we send it to the manufacturer. Because if you have one thing that's messed up and you send it to manufacturer, they mass produce all your mistakes.
Right.
Games with typos, and I'm like, I don't
Right,
want to be
Yeah.
in those games.
right, right.
Before we get too far into it, I'm
Yeah.
going to go ahead and just snap
do the link.
because we did play this like we said earlier. So that link is going to be there now for the whole video until the end. You can click on that when you're done with the video, and that will take you, if you want, to a full playthrough that we do on Tabletopia with John, where we had a lot of fun. Yeah. So the 2 maps you can say are a hospital and an asylum. That's what you were saying.
Yeah.
There is an
So-
asylum.
Yeah. So
What's the other map?
The museum.
The
museum and asylum. That's what it is.
Because it's not a hospital.
Right.
an
It's not,
asylum.
well, it's a hospital for a very specific type of. But yeah, so those are the 2 maps that you get. Cooperative game. How many players?
Now it's 1 to 4. It was 2 to 4, but I've altered some rules where, well, 1 player before controls more characters, but now all you need is control 1. So it's 1
Oh,
to 4
nice.
now.
So you don't have to
Oh,
play
okay.
two-handed.
Yeah.
Something that I'll say about it that might be a selling point for some people is there's a very popular video game out right now called Phasmophobia. And this is basically the board game of Phasmophobia. So if you like that game where it's literally just you going with your friends and you're just trying to make a ghost appear so that you can get evidence of the ghost and leave. Now in this one you're doing slightly more than just getting evidence.
Right. 'Cause
But
you got to
like,
get rid of the ghost.
right, but I'm
once
just
you find
saying
it.
if you like playing that game or if that kind of ghost hunting thing interests you, this is the board game that kind of sums that up. And so,
Yes.
I think that's a pretty good selling
A
point.
fan of mine mentioned Phasmagoria today. I was like, really? I got to check that out.
You should.
Uh,
Maybe even use that as a selling point, right? Because they're good mixed marketing. But
So, Bob, you missed out on the playthrough. So,
yeah.
what questions you have? What?
Not a whole lot really. Normally one of my big things is, is it colorblind friendly? Like, are there any things in there where, like, the colors might be an issue? Or you have a lot of iconography that helps to?
Yes, in fact, I was doing a play test, and some person colorblind's like, your reds are a little distracting. So he said, I'm glad you put some icons on it.
Nice.
Because, I didn't want to change the red color because it was, I desaturated it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But the icons will help.
Okay.
And just recently, actually 2 days ago, there was like these icons, they have these numbers on it, like ×2. So I increased the font size like by 2 point just to make them a little legible for people to read.
Okay.
So that's like it's those minor tweaks I'm doing now, like the
Nice.
little tiny things to make
Right.
the game visibly better.
Right.
Cool.
And I feel like the games that are heavy with iconography, the learning curve seems to be a little easier, right?
Oh.
'Cause
Yeah.
it's like once
when you
these
see this little icon, you can do this. Oh, okay. You
yes,
know, yeah.
yeah, and I when we played, I remember being really impressed with how well I thought the iconography worked, and I also really liked how thematic the whole game felt, because when we played in the asylum, and I remember I went into the was it the morgue, and the door closes
right.
behind you, so you could kind of get stuck in there if you don't get enough movement to
Right.
like get out, right? Where the other rooms you kind of can just pop in and out of, no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
You open some doors, whatever, but that one always closes behind you, and it's
Yeah, it
like
was
how creepy.
It was the classic Scooby-Doo
So-
jump
Yeah.
scare.
So that brings me. So I was playing at a convention. Someone like, he's like, I can feel myself in this game. He's like, all you need is a soundtrack, and I'm like, the first stretch goal, soundtrack.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
a lot of people like it. Some people are like, eh. But I mean, I'm trying to make something for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard to do, right? So you just do what you
play a-
can.
Yeah, play a subtle soundtrack while you're playing the game.
Yeah.
And you know, that's something that Dan does sometimes that I never thought of, but Dan does that. He will sometimes we'll play a game and he's like, hold on, guys. It'll get his phone out and it's like boop. And then it really does add
Some ambiance
To
and
the-
some feel.
yeah,
Yeah.
But it's not like in your face. It's like
Right.
drips in the background.
Right.
And my friend has a really nice solid bass, and I'm gonna go through and point out where I want like a moaning ghost way in the distance or some
Nice.
chains rattling. We have some rats that squeak as you walk by. So just simple things, but not like in your face. Like
Right.
listen to me. Like
right. Yeah.
That
yeah.
reminds me a lot of, I used to play a game called Eternal Darkness on GameCube, and there would be subtle things in the background. Like you'd just be walking by, and then a painting would bleed a little bit. You know,
Oh,
or it's
weird.
just something real subtle in the background. It's just
Sure.
like, whoa, what the, you know, kind of
Right.
gives that
Cool.
creepy feeling to it.
Yeah, you keep getting this subconscious creep
Yeah.
building up over time, just making you
Mhm.
feel uneasy.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Right.
awesome. The soundtrack sounds good.
And if I remember correctly, a talking point is, I believe, don't you actually do your own 3D modeling? And
Yeah.
and that's like it's the artwork in the game is like your 3D modeling, right?
I did a mix of 2D and 3D.
Okay, yeah.
90% of it was my art. I've had people help me when I was getting like falling behind.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the boards were 3D, and it took me 6 years, and you could see kind of the progression. Like the museum is more up to date, but now I've learned even more like lighting techniques in my programs and just in general. So the next boards I do, they're going to be even better.
Right.
Because I've learned
That's-
a lot about lighting in the last.
And that's something to be excited about. Is that something to be excited about? Is you have these future plans, huh? These things you want to do to add into the game. Like that's always going to keep people. They want to know that their purchase has a future, right? That they're spending this money and it's going to have this life that continues on. And it
I was
keeps
drawing
giving.
yesterday some designs, restructuring some things for future maps.
Right on. Right on.
So people, they're going to be able to tell probably by the pictures we're popping up here. But I guess, would you say this leans more towards like a realistic ghost hunting, or more like a cartoony, like family friendly ghost hunting kind of feel?
I would lean more towards the realism. I mean, obviously, the art, it's tend more towards the Fantasy Flight kind of style. Like, but they're getting like super realistic. I want to get to that point where the art is. I mean, because I'm doing everything myself. If I hired to see my artist, I could have those cool like styles. But no, it's a little more adult. Like the cartoons. I mean, there's stuff that like ghosts with skeletal faces in there.
Oh, sure.
We had to increase the age to 14.
Okay.
Just because, and I have like a cigarette in the one, like the ghost card. I was like, well, I don't want to show 13-year-old young people a cigarette. So
I mean, just in case, right? It's better safe than sorry.
Yeah, so I just wanted to be safe. And then the whole cigarette was the whole thing in the 60s, like everyone smoking. I wanted to leave that kind of idea in there.
Right,
Like,
it's a time capsule.
Right.
time period, yeah.
Well, I mean, and if a ghost is from the 60s, he's from the 60s, right?
Right.
Well, these ghosts are probably from the 1800s.
Oh,
or
sure.
the
So they're
Yeah,
still
No, they're
smoking.
all from the 60s.
Well, 1860s.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
So-
No, I mean the 60s. We haven't even hit to the year 100 yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I point out? So a stretch goal is about to, like, it's visible now. It's called a storybook.
Mm.
And in there are some letters that people have wrote in different time periods about, like, something that happened to their son or daughter. and those are actually the people that turn into those ghosts that you face.
Oh, nice.
Like my child got lost in the museum, and all of a sudden, like later, this is the child you're facing in that letter.
I want it to be that exact wording. I want it to be a ghost letter that's like, my child got lost in the museum, and all of a sudden, years later, you're hunting him. And that's it. That's the letter.
That letter is on my Facebook now and my Instagram. You can read that letter.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
That's wild. Yeah, I felt like I get the aging it up a little bit because honestly, like when we were goofing around and we were having a good time while we were playing, but I did feel like tension and like ambiance in the game. Like I felt like the theme really comes through.
Sure. I always say part of that could just be I love this theme.
I do too.
Love the
Yeah,
ghost
if you tell a
hunting,
kid you walk
like-
into a place where they keep dead people and the door slams shut behind you, they're gonna be a little creeped out.
Yeah, but I mean, I think some of it is also like the color palette that you did choose. Like at least with the asylum, right? It's all like dark. It's
Right.
kind of blue, different blues and everything, and so it feels like you're walking through a dark hospital, And if you kind of let your mind roam with it, right? And the ghost is popping up in different areas, and you're trying to catch him or see him, but then you're also trying to build up enough stuff so that you can actually like summon him, right? Or
Right.
for lack of a better.
So I guess we didn't really go over it, but
Sure.
each ghost has a bunch of different skill tests on it, basically. And as you complete them, you like cover them up, and then you're done. And you go around the map getting items and stuff and getting clues that make the skill checks easier. Now, I haven't played in a long time. I don't remember exactly how the clues make it easier, but I remember you collect clues.
The clues reveal the more evidence. So for every clue you solve, you get an evidence symbol that you try to match on the card. And if you get all 4, you can run a seance, and you can actually put them on your space.
Ah.
And
Yeah,
you can
that's how you
roll
bring
on
them.
icon sets together. And also, what was I saying? Oh, shoot. I just blinked.
Ah, you're good. We all do it. We were talking about the clues and the evidence.
Right. So when you pull the seance in,
Oh, yeah, and you get extra summon dice. I'm sorry.
right?
Oh, yeah,
So-
the summon.
Because you
No,
gotta
I was gonna
still
pull
try
the
to-
ghosts and summon the ghosts.
Yeah, you got to get him to show up,
Yeah,
so
that's
then you
right.
can prove
That's
That
hard.
he exists or
that
whatever.
he exists.
Okay.
Right. But yeah, I'm excited. I was so relieved when it funded because I was really bummed out the first time. Well, yeah, I mean it's your baby, right? So
And we got 18 days left still.
yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I'm
Wow.
so excited because not only did you guys blow past it this time, I know that your goal was a little lower this time than last time, but now you're about to pass your goal from last time. So
Yes.
that's a good feeling
Nice.
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, and but yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really glad to see it. I can't wait to play it like in real life, like
Right.
have
With the
'cause-
lights dimmed and
Right. No, but I mean it would be a great game to play. You know what I mean? Like Halloween or just
Yeah.
Right.
any anytime. Like you said, you just turn down the lights a little bit. If you got the
Put on the
soundtrack,
soundtrack.
play the
Yeah.
soundtrack. And just have a good time with
Yeah.
it. A nice
season.
spooky game, right? So what's your turnaround going to be as far as like how long it'll take to?
Expected delivery.
Yeah, I mean obviously
It's
with
hard to
Kickstarter,
tell, yeah,
with Kickstarter it's a moving target, but
for sure.
For delivery, we in our production schedule is April, but we don't know what's going on with freight and what's going on with all that
yeah,
stuff.
freight's a
Right.
nightmare
That's a whole
right
mess
now,
right
right?
now. Yeah.
But during the campaign, like while my buddy, like my partner's editing, I'm getting all the manufactured files. Like they're already ready. I just want to re-save over them,
Right.
so they have a nice copy. And I'm gonna buy another manufacturer sample to make sure everything's perfect.
Sure.
Right.
Because I don't want to send out something and realize there's a typo. In fact, the last copy they gave me, one of the search icons didn't have an icon like the symbol on the back,
Mm-hmm.
and so
Oh, right.
it was a good call catch. So yeah, I want to get a sample first,
Sure.
and then I'm gonna say mass produce this thing, ship it out,
Right.
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad. Hopefully all the shipping stuff has worked itself out by the time you guys are ready for that because
Right.
unfortunately that's like a curveball nobody can really do anything about.
Yeah.
So
But
Yeah.
I want to get this game to people as fast as possible. I can't control the boat, though.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean there's
I mean,
all
just get
kinds
your own
of
boat. No.
But
That's
some
a
of these Kickstarters
stretch
are like,
goal.
where like 75% of the art is done, and I'm like, no, mine's all done.
Oh no,
Right.
I have at least 3 Kickstarters that I've been waiting on since at least 2018, 2019. And yeah, I mean, because sometimes they don't even start, like, because some of them have miniatures and stuff, so they don't even start the tooling
mold,
process and
yeah.
everything until they funded.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, because not everybody's CMON where they actually just have everything all fired
Ready
up
to
and
go.
ready to go.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
because it's like we're gonna make this game.
Right.
You know, they
whether
know-
it funds or not, we're gonna make some.
They know they're gonna make this game. But yeah, no, that's great because that's especially for somebody, you know, like an independent group of people trying to pump out a game. You know, if you can have a relatively quick turnaround, you know, even like a year is great.
Yeah,
If you
that's what I expect when I go back on Kickstarter. Usually about a year. Okay,
if
we're
you
good.
if you can get it in a year and a half, you know.
Year and a half. That's. I mean, I'm not gonna take that long.
No, well, I mean, but you guys are, you know, you got your boards, you got a lot of cards, and then you've got your dice, right? I mean, that's pretty much like the main bits, some punch out stuff, right? For
Yeah,
your
with the
Yeah.
for
clock.
for your tokens and your
Like I
clock.
said, I just want to make sure when I send this game that it's the quality that I expect and want everyone to get. So I want my own copy first.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Well, you know what? If I wait, and I did. If you wait 2.5 years for a game and you get
Love
to
the
play the
game.
heck out of it,
Yeah.
who cares,
Ends
man?
up being worth it.
Yeah, you get a good game, then you get a good game. And I would rather have a good game that's made well
Yeah.
and have to wait a little bit, you know. So,
For sure.
but yeah, man, I'm excited for Skeptics. I'm really happy. Do you have anything else you want to say about it, or anything we missed and didn't talk about that's super important or heavy?
Well, I mean, my daughters were unlocked today. The twin
Oh
ghosts.
yeah.
They were
Hey.
unlocked this morning, and I
Nice.
called them up. I was like, "You were just you're live now on Kickstarter."
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's
That's
cool.
awesome. Now they will live on in infamy.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I have plans to keep on going. I want to make like a universe, and then branch out to other games. I don't want to be just typecast at Skeptics, but
right.
I do want to make a universe for a while,
Okay.
Sure.
and then start branching out to other type like kids games or just anything.
Sure,
So-
sure. Well, hey, step one is complete. You have
Yeah.
funded.
Yeah.
You have funded a game on Kickstarter, so you're
Yeah.
3/4 of the way there. Now you just got to fill it and be done.
Ship
But the,
it, yeah.
but the
Hopefully
campaign
people
is done.
enjoy it as much as you guys have.
Well, you know what though? I think they will. I honestly do, because if you can play, and some people are burned out on Cthulhu stuff, right? So
Yeah.
like Elder Sign, people, we compare it to Elder Sign because it's the dice rolling and you're trying to match the symbols up
Icons,
with some
right.
stuff. But I mean, really, people are burned out on that theme. You've got a theme that I don't see a lot of right now in board games. I mean, there's a few very light or fluffy or kind of just around the edges of what you're doing, but like I get burned out on when there's like a glut of Viking games or a glut of zombie games.
Zombies. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's for me, it was kind of exciting because it's like, well, there's not any other game like this. So if you get a game like with this theme, and if you like theme, I think that this will appeal to you. But to get a game with a unique theme and still have some depth and some
Right.
strategy
It's
and
just got a good atmosphere.
a nice
That's-
hard co-op.
I did have one thing, like people were concerned about the replay value of the same board. I was like, well, I mean, there's like so many different like ways of playing. Like you have 8 ghosts, there's so many, like no game is going to be the same.
Well, and stuff pops up in different areas anyways, right?
Right. You
It's-
seed the board at the beginning. You're fighting a different
it's
ghost.
the clue board. You can play it over and over and over.
Right.
It's
That's-
always a different game. Like,
That's
Right.
the first thing I thought of.
Sure,
That's
but,
so funny.
but you're right. You're right. Yeah, so I don't think that that's a big deal. I think
And I'm hoping for a modular mansion later as a future
Nice.
expansion.
that'd be rad.
That'd be really
yeah.
cool.
Like a mystery mansion type setup.
Sure. But the important thing is you got the base down,
Yep.
So now you're going to have an audience, right? So when you go
And the
back
game's not going to take 6 years to make. It's only going to take a year.
right? Yeah, because all the
I was
foundations
busy
are-
making the logo, the website, like the template. How's everything going to look? And now it's all in place. I just have to swap out images and text and
right.
ready to go.
Yeah, and you've already got a game system, right? You've already got all the bones are there. It's just putting on a new outside for it. But Bobby, you got anything else? You got
No, that's it for me.
I don't. I just wanted to mention we will have a link to the Kickstarter in the description and any other links that John may want us to put in there. So-
Right on. Well, John, thank you very much for taking some time. I know we were
Yeah.
kind of monkeying with the schedule a little bit, but I was like,
It's totally cool.
I really wanted to get you on while your Kickstarter was actually going.
Right.
Because that
I
worst
was
case,
excited when you guys got a hold of me. I was like, oh, this is great to revisit you guys and talk to you again.
yeah, no, we were. I was really excited that you're like, who? You weren't just like, who is that? Who are you
Right.
guys? What happened? So no, man. Once we get even further down the road with you filling the stuff, we'll just have you back on, talk about some stuff, see where you're at design wise.
That'd be great.
Because I'd love to have you on as a guest again. Because
I need to come visit you and play in person.
Yeah, we'll go out to New York.
Yeah,
We'll
I mean,
take
I'm
a
not
field
saying
trip.
that once you get your early copy, you should bring it here or anything. But
We do our Meeple meetups.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. All right. Well, John, thank you very much for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. Skeptics is on Kickstarter right now. It's basically just the one price point, right? One price gets you.
it's the 50 and the 100 because the 100 is
That's right.
the play with him and the special. What's the other
Which
thing?
some people thought was there, but I'm like, well, you can sit and play with me for free. You can ask me any question you want. You can tear the game apart if you want. Or,
Right, that's the thing is it's not John, it's that you get to play the game.
Right. Right. But yeah, so you can see it now on Tabletopia, right? And
Tabletop Simulator.
and Tabletop Simulator.
Yep.
So
Nice.
so if you're curious, if you got any doubts at all, I would say either reach out to John because he's right. He's very accessible.
He's literally right there.
He's active. He's active though
Nice guy.
on social medias. Yeah, he's not. He puts up with us. But also, yeah, you can find it online. Try it out online. I really think that if the ghost hunting, ghost proving theme appeals to you, I think this will be something you like.
Yep.
So, all right, John. Well, we're gonna stop taking up all your time, man. But thank you so much for making some time for us tonight.
Welcome.
All right,
Thank you.
man.
Thank you for having me.
No
Yep.
problem.
Thanks.
So that was our interview with John. We were super excited to have him on. It's a project that I am passionate about, and I'm excited to get my hands on a copy of that game. So, as always, guys, be sure to check out our friends at the Miniatures Rundown. CJ and Jeff are over there quite often doing all kinds of stuff. We're going to pop up on an episode that might already be out by the time this comes out of us playing Dragon Strike. Whenever it comes out, we'll be there making life really difficult for CJ as he tries to run a game with us goofballs. Always check out our friends at the Board Game Mechanics. They do a pretty okay podcast.
We've had them on the last couple weeks.
Yeah, Jason and Katie both. And it's been fun because they just love to dig on you guys, and I'm in the clear
Whatever.
so far.
For now.
You just made a mistake.
I
sir.
made a huge mistake. For any other board game news you might be interested in, I would recommend checking out the Game Talk Network on Facebook or GameTalkNetwork.com.
That link is always in the description.
They do a lot of news. You're going to get like Warhammer news, Magic the Gathering news, board game news, all kinds of fun
All
stuff
types of stuff.
over there. Don't forget about our giveaway video. And for the Board Game Rundown, I've been Tim.
I've been Bob.
And I've been Dan.
We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for checking out the Board Game Rundown. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share our videos on social media and spread the word. We publish new content weekly, including reviews, unboxing, and Let's Plays. And as always, thanks for watching.